Meeting of the City Council of the City of Cottonwood, held July 2nd, 2019 at 6 p.m. in council chambers here in Cottonwood. Clerk, will you please take roll?
Councilmember Althouse.
Here.
Councilmember Hulse.
Here.
Councilmember Howdigi.
Here.
Councilmember Naren.
Here.
Councilmember Matthews.
Here.
Vice Mayor Henry.
Here.
Mayor Linsky is on vacation and is not present tonight.
Thank you. Will you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the next item on the agenda is a brief summary of current events by the council and/or city manager. The public body does not propose, discuss, deliberate, or take any legal action on any matter brought up during the summary unless the specific matter is properly noticed for legal action. Do any members of council have any items to update?
I do. So I attended my first quarterly NACOG meeting. The city manager was there. I was aware of NACOG and some of the things they did, but I was not aware of the scope and the different things, everything they did. It was very informative. They've got some really phenomenal professionals working for them. It's an amazing thing they do. I was very impressed by them. So the meeting went very well, learned a lot from that. The after meeting with some of the people there was very informative on things in the past in Cottonwood and some of their observations and disappointments. I know they met with Ron lately, and I think they're as enamored with Ron as we are. So they are expecting to see great improvements and great things coming out of Cottonwood. So a great thing. I think we need to try to take advantage of partnering up with their economic development council and people. I think that would be a good thing. So I'm going to be working on that. I'm looking forward to the meetings in the future and working with them. It was good.
I'm glad you're able to be there and represent the city.
It's going to be good.
Any other council members?
Yes, I attended the police awards ceremony last month, and we had 7 officers and employees of the police department that received awards. The new employee of the year was Mark Mann. He's the new employee. He has 30-plus years of law enforcement prior to coming to Cottonwood. He served for 20 years in New York on the New York State Police, 10 years in Maricopa County, and then came up here. He was very intelligent, very sharp young man. The volunteer of the year was Jack Van Wy. He's put in over 3,000 hours volunteer work for the police department. He was involved as the coordinator for the Embry-Riddle group that did the investigation on the Bank of America burglary. The officer of the year was Chris Dowell. He's also a retired officer from, I think, Maricopa County.
That's correct.
And came up here, and he's very intelligent. He's improved quite a bit of their paperwork, slimmed things down and improved some of the quality of the reports. Let's see. Supervisor of the year was Melanie Corset. She's a communications specialist, or pardon me, she is communications individual. Communications specialist of the year was Jessica Ojeda. And the 9/11 Life-Saving Award of the year went to Alexis Sauer. She coached a spouse through CPR while medical services were en route, kept the spouse alive, and was able to return the husband to the family. And the civilian of the year was Nadine Flores. So really a neat group of people, and a lot of pride goes out to those individuals and to our police department in general for the great work they do.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members have updates? Yesterday, I, along with our city manager, had the pleasure of meeting with Congressman O'Halloran to discuss potential areas of federal funding or support for the Verde Valley wine industry. There were several issues that were discussed, including water usage and information about how grapes are a relatively low water usage crop compared to some of our other Arizona favorites like cotton and citrus. We also discussed potential grant funding through the USDA, and then of course the regional application for designation as a viticultural area. So it was a lot of information, good meeting with our Congressman, well, with Congressman O'Halloran. City Manager, did you have any other items you'd like to update?
I do, Vice Mayor, if I could. In addition to the other meetings you guys have discussed, we had an airport commission meeting this week, last week I guess it was. Wanted to inform council that we'll be coming back at the work session in August to present the recommendations from the commission and probably hear from the community at that time, the steps we're going to be taking. Again, that'll be in the work session in August. Met today actually on a task force on workforce housing for the Verde Valley, made up of some of the city managers, the Sedona mayor, and a few others. And this time we also had Vivi Rio there, NACOG was there, so we had some civilian community partners there. And I'm really looking forward to, we're going to start meeting every 2 to 3 months and moving forward with different ways that we can tackle this issue as a region, either through funding options, through the state and federals, through a new organization, or just regulations and zoning and different things that we can do as a group. Sedona's really taken the lead on this. Of course, they have a significant issue. Right now, a lot of their workforce housing lives in Cottonwood, and so I'm looking forward to what comes out of that. Also went up to Flagstaff last week and met with the GAMA, the mayor's group for Greater Arizona, and their topic of discussion was short-term rentals and trying to work with the state legislatures and the governor's office to bring back a little bit of local control. And it really hit home to me the issue of short-term rentals when a project was approved recently in a high-end community, upwards of $1 million housing community, and the house was 5 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, 5 master bathrooms with those, and 5 separate entrances to the house. So clearly it's going to be a short-term rental going into a high-end neighborhood. So those people are going to have a hotel right next to their homes that they didn't plan for, in that way that no other hotel could actually go there. So it's interesting to see how we'll be able to get the help with the state legislature and the governor's office to address the short-term rental issue, which is one of the causes of our long-term rental issues, workforce housing issues. So there's a lot of people working, in my opinion, on workforce housing from different angles, and I look forward to coming back. In the community coming up, of course, tomorrow we have the 20th annual Fantastic Family 4th of July event at the Verde Valley Fairgrounds, the Children's Park, and some other locations, some events going around. Our wine consortium is supporting us. They'll be there serving wine. And then at 5, we have the watermelon eating contest. And then we'll have the patriotic salute at 7:30. And then hopefully, according to the Arizona Republic, second best fireworks show in Arizona, 8:45 right here in Cottonwood. Very excited about that. I believe Council Member Althouse is speaking. Awesome. Look forward to hearing from you tomorrow.
First? Second best?
Well, yes, second best, which is a pretty good number compared to our budget and our size. Okay. So good job to the teams who handle that. Phoenix is number 1, so.
Their budget's slightly higher than ours.
That's going to be tough to beat.
It is going to be tough to beat, but they have other issues right now, so we don't want to be in the same park as them, so it's all right.
They don't have Councilmember Althouse speaking either.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna draw a big crowd. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling everybody to come and see us.
We do have people coming to see us.
Yep.
Fan club.
The Cottonwood Public Library, along with the astronomers of the Verde Valley, will be hosting the second star party of the summer on Saturday, July 6th, beginning at 7:30 p.m., so come on out. And then if you look around the room tonight, we have our new July Rotating Artist Series, features oil pastels by Helen McLucky. There's going to be a artist reception open house here at the Chambers on Saturday, July 13th from 4 to 7, in conjunction with Old Town's second Saturday Art and Culture Walk. And of course, this program is coordinated by Mary Ann over here, our city clerk, and any artist interested in participating from the Cottonwood area should give her a call. And then finally, on Saturday, July 13th, the Cottonwood Aquatic Center Outdoor Pool will be hosting a dive-in movie and showing Mary Poppins, it sounds like. Mary Poppins Returns, the updated version. It is free to all. Gates open at 7:45 and the movie begins at dark. A special shout out to Cottonwood Youth Advisory Commission for selling snacks and drinks at the fundraiser. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Our next item is the call to the public. This is the portion of the agenda set aside for the public to address council regarding any item that is not listed on the agenda for discussion. Council cannot engage in discussion regarding any item not officially listed on the agenda, and comments are limited to a 5-minute time period. Are there any members of the public tonight that would like to address council? All right, next item is approval of minutes from the regular meeting of June 18, 2019.
Move to approve the minutes.
Second?
All right, we have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. And there's one item, ordinance number 661, amending Title 14, City Utilities, Chapter 14.05, contract for water or water and sewer service of the municipal code by deleting section 14.05.010, contract for services B, and adding a new subsection 3 to section 14.05.010F. This is the second and final reading. Mr. Whitmer.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Henry, members of council, it gives me great pleasure to bring back the second reading of ordinance number 661. I think you're all familiar with it. This was the effort to try and streamline the sign-up process for water service. I think we've accomplished that through this ordinance. Should this go forward after tonight, I think it goes into effect in 30 days from today. So, unless you have any questions.
Council, any questions?
I think I've said plenty on this. I'd like to thank Ron and Tom and your staff that worked on this. I think you've come up with a very good proposition here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Council, any other discussion? Any members of the public care to comment on this item? All right, do I hear a motion?
Yes, you do. I move to approve ordinance number 661.
Second.
All right, we have Councilmember Matthews made the motion, Councilmember Naren second. Clerk, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Althouse?
Yes.
Councilmember Halls?
Yes?
Councilmember Howdigy?
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews?
Yes.
Councilmember Naren?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Henry?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And clerk, if you will, please read ordinance number 661.
Ordinance number 661, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, amending Title 14 City Utilities, Chapter 14.05, contract for water or water and sewer service of the municipal code by deleting section 14.05.010, contract for services B, and adding a new section 3 to update it section 14.05.010E.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Moving to the consent agenda, the following items, and there are 3 tonight, are considered to be routine and non-controversial by council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or a citizen requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. The first item is a special event liquor license application submitted by Christian Oliva Del Rio, applicant for the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce, for a chamber mixer scheduled for July 18, 2019 at 1665 East Cottonwood Street, Suite A. The second item is a request for consent to collateral assignment of lessee's leasehold interest in Lot 114 of the replat of Cottonwood Airpark Tract 1, Parts A and B from Backus Family Investments, LLC to State Bank of Arizona. The last item is acceptance of a surface and overhead navigation easement from Jane Tavasi for properties on Black Hills Drive. The property numbers are 1510, 1530, and 1550. Council, would anybody like any of these items pulled from consent? Would any member of the public like one of these items pulled from the consent agenda? All right. I'll go ahead and move to approve the consent agenda as drafted.
Second.
Vice Mayor Henry made the motion. Councilmember Hadagi, second. We don't need a roll call vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Steve. Moving now to new business. Following items are for council discussion, consideration, and possible legal action. The first item is resolution number 3012, appointing John Kubrock a member of the Parks and Recreation Commission. Ms. Wilbur.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. We have one seat for the Parks and Recreation Commission expiring. We went through the blind review process on the applications received. Council interviewed both applicants at the June 4th meeting, and John Kubrock was the top scoring applicant. Therefore, staff recommends that you appoint Mr. Kubrock to this position. He does live within the city limits and therefore meets the requirements to serve in this way.
Excellent, thank you. Council, any questions for Ms. Wilbur? Any discussion?
No, I ran into John actually a couple of weeks ago on his day job, and he'd asked me we talked about this a little bit. And at that time, nobody knew who was going to be picked, but he seemed like a very nice guy, very committed to serving, and wanting to serve in some capacity. So I'm very happy to see his name up here.
Yep. I am as well.
I'd note, reviewing the packet, I don't often comment on these, but this was a super close scoring, and your other applicant was very qualified and scored very highly too.
Let's find a place for them.
Matter of time, just a matter of time.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion. I move to approve resolution number 3012, appointing John Kubrock a member of the city's Parks and Recreation Commission with a term expiring July 19th, 2020.
Second.
All right, we have Councilmember Matthews made the motion. Councilmember Hulse made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And I would like to thank all of the applicants that we did have, those that are willing to serve and volunteer. It really is big use and helpful to the city. Clerk, if you will, please read resolution number 3012 by title only.
Resolution number 3012, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, appointing John Kubrock a member of the City of Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Commission and establishing his term of office. Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you. Our next item is acceptance of a right-of-way dedication on Pinal Street here in Old Town for a city bus stop and bench. And it looks like Mr. Scott has more information.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Members of the council, Morgan Scott with Special Projects, I guess is where I'm at now. Some of you may be familiar with the bus stop that's located on the alley between Main Street and Cactus Street, right behind the Cottonwood Hotel. For a long time, it was just a bus stop, no bench, no anything else. And a couple residents took upon themselves to put a plastic chair there to sit and wait in an effort to, one, clean up the town, as well as make it more convenient for our residents, as well as the chair was a little bit of a safety hassle. We wanted to put in a bench, and realizing we had not enough right-of-way to put in the bench behind sidewalk. We had a few inches between the back of sidewalk and city right-of-way. So we approached the property owner, Karen Leff of Cottonwood Hotel. She graciously donated the right-of-way. Bruce Morrow with Transit Cats found a grant and got the bench purchased, and it should be installed in the next couple weeks.
Awesome. That's great. Council, any questions for Mr. Scott?
Great job.
No, I'd just like to say that I know it's on this agenda, there's 2 items on here where citizens have graciously worked with the city, where I know the other instances have not worked out so smoothly and beneficial for us and been kind of a pain. But this is great to see that we have citizens willing to cooperate and work with us in this way. Very encouraging.
Agreed.
They should be commended.
All right, well, thank you. Any other discussion?
I move to accept a public right-of-way dedicated by Karen Leff.
Second. Councilmember Nairn made the motion. Vice Mayor Henry seconded. Clerk, if we could have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Althouse?
Yes.
Councilmember Halls?
Yes.
Councilmember Howdige?
Yes.
Councilmember Matthews?
Yes.
Councilmember Nairn?
Yes.
Madam Vice Mayor.
Yes. Thank you.
Carried.
All right, next item. We have discussion, consideration, and possible approval of a proposed right-of-way encroachment agreement with 1060 North Main Street LLC for use of city right-of-way for additional outdoor seating for a Bocce restaurant. Mr. Scott.
Thank you. For those of you who haven't heard, the Bocce restaurant located on the north side of Old Town Main Street is looking to expand to the south. They've gone through the planning and zoning process. It's all been approved. You may remember when they went through their first, not expansion, but their first opening, their bocce ball court and a portion of their dining area is actually within the city right-of-way. It's a portion of city right-of-way was unused. The city doesn't have any current plans for it, and we don't see any plans in the near future. So at that time, we chose to enter into a license agreement with them, with the Bocce restaurant, and their dining area and bocce ball courts, I believe their dumpsters and a few other things are actually located on city right-of-way. They give us annual insurance to cover the city should anything happen with that. And as part of their expansion to the south, there's also another piece of Main Street right-of-way that they'd like to include in their dining area. If you're familiar with the area, there's actually a retaining wall there. So this is everything behind that retaining wall. The sidewalk will all remain outside of this license agreement. So all this agreement says is they have the right to use that city-owned right-of-way as part of their dining area. It is revocable. For example, if there was a reason the city needed it in the future, you, the council, have the right to act upon that.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
It's great, goes both ways.
Yeah, we give some, we take some.
I love it.
All right, thank you. Any other discussion, council? Is there any member of the public that would care to comment, or is the representative of the entity here to comment? No? All right, well, if I can get there, I'll go ahead and move to approve the proposed encroachment agreement with 1060 North Main LLC for use of a portion of city-owned right-of-way along North Main Street.
Second?
Vice Mayor made the motion. Councilmember Matthews had the second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And I apologize, I'm not quite clear on when I'm supposed to do a roll call vote. So City Attorney,
Madam Vice
please
Mayor,
let me know if...
You are fine. The new law, the recently passed law, requires us to be able to make a record of who voted which way on what item. And if there's any item that I or the clerk think requires an actual head count, we'd let you know.
Thank you. Keeping us legal. The next item on the agenda is the claims and adjustments.
Move to approve the claims and adjustments.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Althouse, I'm giving you a promotion, made the motion. After tonight, it's all yours. Councilmember Holst had the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, claims and adjustments are passed. And our next item is the annual review of the city clerk. This has been agendized as an executive session pursuant to A.R.S. 38-43103A1. Council may vote to convene in executive session to conduct the annual performance evaluation of our city clerk, subject to the city clerk's right to compel the council to discuss this matter in open meeting. I would move to convene in executive session.
Second.
Vice Mayor made the motion. Councilmember Althouse had the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and convene in executive session. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. Hear a motion to reconvene in regular session.
Motion to reconvene into regular session.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Matthews, second by Councilmember Nairn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. We did just have the annual review of our city clerk, and of course, I can't repeat anything that was discussed in executive session as it is confidential, but I would like to come out on the record and just, on behalf, I feel, of council, thank Ms. Jimenez for her dedication and wonderful service as city clerk.
Hear, hear.
Personally, I feel that the city is very fortunate to have such a fine clerk in that office, and so I do thank you for everything that you do for the city of Cottonwood. And then, if nothing else, I'd move to adjourn.
Second?
Vice Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Hulse at the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Motion carries. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night.